Would you like to support Cubs Out Loud? One way is to join us over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, patrons get early access to our shows, the pre- and post-show, and various other rewards. You can learn more at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. Thanks to all our patrons for their support in making this podcast. It's March 2nd, 2025. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me
Everyone
Gary.
else is thinking it, and I just say it.
Welcome to Cubs Out Loud, the very podcast of indeterminate length, episode number 777. And Gary really screwed me up with this cadence.
Listen, I'm just an old fat man over here who was having a hot flash and turned 7 shades of red because I was so abused. So everything's off.
And then here I am being, oh, there it is. Because it's that time of the month. I was going to crack a joke, but I decided against it last minute. Anyways, binge somnia is when you get a version of insomnia because you're binge watching something. And it also means that the Who continued, but this time won't get fooled again. Can you guess what happened?
The Who?
If you think back to last month,
CSI.
yeah, I'm no longer in Vegas. I'm now in Miami. The Who song Won't Get Fooled Again is the theme song. So last month I did Who Are You? Who? Won't get fooled again. And I got to see I'm watching as David Caruso takes his sunglasses on and off just as he's making some sort of snarky comment.
Mm.
And then as soon as he makes it, he goes, "Oh!"
Yes.
Which is the
That's
overall meme.
CSI. That's the CSI I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I actually watched the series, but that's like the meme that I remember so often. Because it was constant. Just a thing.
I mean, technically, he doesn't do that. The theme music plays that way.
And the theme music is the one that does the screen, but
it would have been funnier if he did it.
It would be.
That should be an SNL skit. That should be the SNL skit.
Lord.
Where it just goes wild.
They should actually bring David Caruso on and do a skit where it's just this like series of things where they come to a body, they start explaining some scientific thing about how they died, and then he makes them sort of either takes off his glasses or puts it on, because it can go either way. It's very by glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he says it, he then starts screaming.
I'm surprised they didn't do that, honestly, because that would have
who knows? I mean,
hilarious.
there's been a lot of. I mean, this has been around since like
years of SNL.
Yeah, it's like 2005 or somewhere right around there when CSI Miami launched, and they went for like 9-10 seasons or something. Went for a long time.
Oh, right.
Lauren Michaels, you're welcome. Anyways, free idea.
If you haven't done it yet, maybe you should.
Yeah.
Of course, how many kids these days would actually know that meme?
Huh.
It doesn't matter. The
Maybe they
SNL audience is old.
That's fair.
Maybe they did.
Anyways,
Sorry. I'm
Goodness, you.
seeing something. Who the fuck is you? Sorry. My TikTok opened and I got someone is following you. I'm like, well, I don't know who you are.
In the meantime, my onboarding teaching, actually, it's more of like I'm the onboarding guide, has ended. I'm just waiting on one guy to get his badge, which hopefully will be tomorrow, because it's printed somewhere else in the country and sent to us. So we have to wait for that to come through. And then officially at that point in time, my onboarding's done. And apparently there's another person that's going to be onboarding. And I have no idea when. There's just a plan for another new hire. We'll find out about that one. I don't know. But my job is done. So I'm not really a trainer. I'm more of a onboarding guide who gives some mild training and fill-in training when the leads who are doing the training need to go to a meeting. I'm the substitute teacher.
There you go.
Maybe I'm more like the principal. I don't know. Well, one of those people who's always around and it's like introduce them to the teachers and give them the grand tour.
You're the in-school sub.
Maybe I'm the guidance counselor.
You're like the school secretary. You just like, oh, we need someone to watch school. I guess I can do it because I've done teaching. Let me just come over and give the basics and train you on. There you go. Have a good day, class.
Yeah, but I don't really teach them the job per se. So
you strike me more as like more like the substitute teacher or the chilled layback. Like doesn't necessarily,
I'm that guy when you go to a college and they just bring everybody into a room and they give you the orientation. Maybe there's a little tour or something, that sort of thing. You're brand new out of school, and make sure like all your paperwork, here's where your classes are. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Something like that.
But I think we're cooking too much into it.
Yeah, of course, the onboarding process that my company has is overtly arduous. And onboarding with the client is easier. A few less steps, and I just need to make sure that they take the appropriate steps to get through. But onboarding for the actual company that I work for is a pain in the patootie. It is overly complicated. Well, maybe not complicated.
Have you tried more lube?
Look, it's not rough. It's a nice, smooth experience per se. There's just a lot.
So it's like taking the 22-inch dildo. It's thin and long, but you gotta
So what you're saying, it's like getting a colonoscopy.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Oh my. Preview? Question mark? I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like it's colonoscopy. All I can say.
Who invited Bugs Bunny? And why did we suddenly make a left turn to Albuquerque? I was not ready for that.
No.
Anyways.
No. We took the right turn at Albuquerque. Because he pops up, he looks at his map, and he says, I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
Okay.
Having taken a purposeful right turn at Albuquerque at one point in time, I know the Bugs Bunny joke.
Look at you.
And for all you kids who have absolutely no idea what I'm sure you could just Google "left turn at Albuquerque," and there's probably some sort of clip of an old Bugs Bunny cartoon. Probably even a compilation
Short.
video
Or
where
long.
there's like just like every time that he makes that joke.
Turn for car guy. Oh, good Lord. That'd be like an hour.
I mean, I feel like the answer is your homework is to go watch just the whole Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, over and
Right. And
learn from it.
The thing is, you would think that would be on Max, but I don't think it is. It should be, but I don't think it is. And again, I don't think it is. That is not confirmation that it is not. I just don't think it is. I'm unaware.
According to Google, it's on Max.
Oh, okay. Oh wait.
According to Google.
I mean, I got Max on YouTube, so
there you go.
I can actually pull up Max here. Max is streaming something live right now as we speak. Oh, no, I don't want to know what's new in March.
Like, but I will shove it down your eye holes whether you like it or not.
Get it.
Now, is it under like shows?
Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
As Looney Tunes?
Can we kind of just continue with the show?
Well, while I do that, David?
Sure. So we can hear your computer, just so you know.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, Jeff, we're aware you're
I'm
not
doing a search on Max. I'm getting error.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, we can hear. For the main thing of this month, I went to North American Bear Weekend, NAB, 2025, and it was interesting. Due to Jim having to work, I didn't get there until Thursday evening, but kind of hit the ground running. I missed some of the contests. And this year was a little different. Normally I would come in with like an idea of what I wanted to go do. I'd have I'd pick classes and such. And for the first time in a while, nothing was really like grabbing at me. I mean, I did things and I met people and I saw friends and I had food and all of that stuff, but something felt off. And because of that, it just didn't, it wasn't like the greatest experience. I've had good experiences at NAB. This year was a little different. But I was happy to be there. I was happy to see friends. I was happy to support my Onyx, siblings and do that, and that was great. And then I saw the contest on Saturday, which I need to talk to someone in some way, shape, or form where sometimes there are things that may not be necessary that we pad into the time because of we need to like have time to like do all the calculations and such. And I feel like that may not be necessary anymore because 9 times out of 10, if you're doing it in any kind of Excel spreadsheet or what have you, you can get the numbers relatively quickly. But anyway, a contest, an ending night that goes for 2 or 3 hours is a lot, especially when you've just had dinner and you're going into the contest. Anyway, but then we left early Sunday morning because we had gaming up here in Cincinnati at noon. So it took me a little while to get like through the processing of the feelings and emotions. So I wrote a post like a couple of days ago about it all. It was fine. It could have been better. It could have been worse. I'm glad I went. Um, that part. The reason we talked like you mentioned colonoscopy and I laughed and mentioned like maybe is I went to my doctor on Friday for my like 3 month like prep checkup and everything else, and she was like, "Oh hey, by the way, you're 45 now, so you are due for a colonoscopy because they are doing them earlier now. So you start when you're 45, as opposed to it used to be 50." Um, So I had a colonoscopy in 2019 when I had found out about my diverticulitis. So she's trying to get the records, and she's going to use that as a possibility to see if I can do. There are three options now. One is like doing an actual colonoscopy. One is a like the at home sort of like, which I'm going to own. I'm not a fan of because you've got to like fuck around with your own poop. That's not my thing. Just. And then I forget what the third one is. Oh, the third one is they do it in house, like it's a not full comprehensive test. It's not as extensive. But anyway, we'll see. I'm not too happy about it. I hope that she can get the records and then we can make a decision from that. But the fact that the records weren't available, granted, it has been it's been
6 years.
6 years.
So you're due.
Yeah. So I'm fine with doing one. It's just going to be a matter of getting it all like scheduled and probably taking time off work and Jim taking some time off work or something along those lines to make it happen, or seeing if I have a friend that can come do all the things. But anywho, I've gone through it before. I've done one before. It's not ideal, but I know that they are necessary for ruling out things. And given my other diagnoses, I think I would prefer, getting everything fully checked out as opposed to doing some of the smaller things. So,
right,
we'll see.
Let the doctor stick a camera up your butt. It's not that big of a deal.
The prep is the hard part. Like that's realistically, you're asleep. You are knocked the fuck out for the actual like procedure, which is fair. I will. It just. I probably will do it if there's an actual need to do it. I'll put it like that. Or if I can wait. They said there's a possibility I could wait a couple of years, depending on what we got back from 6 years ago. So
yeah.
It's going to happen. I'm surprised Jim hasn't had one in a while. I have to ask him about that. Anyway, I don't recall him doing any prep. Let's just put it like that.
I mean, there are different kinds of prep as the resident unintentional most experienced. I don't want to say expert, but I've had like a dozen in my lifetime. So yes. The prep is the most difficult part. It's the thing that people complain about the most, which is understandable. And I've talked about it openly at work with some people because they've kind of talked about like and grumbled. They're like, get a colonoscopy. And I was like, don't care, do it. And they just kind of stare at me. And I'm like, as a survivor of colon cancer and like had to do it many times and had to have a whole series of them done, like just get it done. Like, yes, and it is not enjoyable to prepare. But that being said, the one that everybody dislikes universally is the gallon of prep liquid version. There are some alternatives. It depends on, honestly, the doctor who's doing the exam and what they are comfortable with. There are some modifications to that.
I had the one I had 6 years ago. I didn't have a gallon. I had like two or three packets of stuff. That had to be drank. Like you started to prep, then you couldn't do anything for a long time, and then you had another one. Like I had mine like right before bed, and then you had one like 3 or 4 hours or something like that before you actually had to go to the test.
Mhm.
But it was not a gallon. It was almost, and it was I remember saying it tasted like a salty Gatorade. Is what the whatever I was not diagnosed, prescribed tasted like.
Right.
But it is what it is. I'll do it. Um, I know I'm at that age now where it's going to be something I need to get done. So if I can wait a year, that would be great because then I can plan it accordingly. Um, give myself a little bit more time, as it were. But other than that, not too worried about it. I've had them before. I've had one before. Again, it's really just preparing for it. That's the issue. And again, it's what your insurance will cover. Which, given I have the same insurance then, now that I had back then, I should probably get the similar like stuff, unless the doctor wants something else.
Right.
So yeah, it was actually really good. I mean, not good. It was. I don't remember the procedure. I'll put it like that. I remember.
See,
I remember. I was talking with the big issue for me was like them putting the IV in because I have rolling veins. That was sort of the
Ooh.
big thing. And then um, uh, I remember her like, we're gonna count down from 10 or something. I don't even remember hearing like 9 or 8. And then the next thing I remember is waking up in the recovery room.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. They're not that bad. I think the main issue is you can't eat for a while, so you want to kind of get them done. Like I couldn't imagine doing mine like middle of the day or something.
Yeah, I mean, I always do mine as first thing in the morning, like
Right,
earliest appointment I can get. I find that
right.
to be easier, um, because if I'm in at like 6 or 6:30, maybe 7, if that's the earliest appointment, um, I'm usually done by 8 and having breakfast. So
Hmm. Yeah, yep, yeah. But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's just funny that the colonoscopy part was mentioned, and it made me remember literally 2 days ago having my doctor's appointment. Gary.
um, so February for me was busy. My second job, I don't know what the story is. I don't know if there's less people working and or more work to be done.
Mm.
But this whole month I worked 6 days a week.
Ugh.
Between the two jobs, roughly close to about 55, 60 hours a week. So I had a very busy month, and also a series of things were going on with the union over the course of the weeks. So now, um, the not broken part. So on the 17th, President's Day, for the union, we had in-person steward training. It had been planned in advance. There's all this stuff. So I arrived early at the location that we were doing it at. And unexpectedly, not that it would be expected necessarily, stepped on snow that was covering up a sheet of ice. And
Oh.
I promptly fell forward down onto my knees.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the jokes out now. And braced with my right hand the bag that I was holding. So my left side is what got most of the impact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was painful.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then here's the thing: the parking lot is a sheet of ice.
Wow.
So now I am a short, round, fat dude down on the ground trying to figure out how to get upright on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody around. I mean, the saving grace is there was no people to witness. The downside is there's nobody to help.
Right.
So I am just floundering. Since then, that very day, my knee swelled up like a balloon. I hobbled around, and 2 days later, decided to go to the doctor. They agreed that I probably had like hard impact on my patella, on my knee bone. They didn't necessarily think anything was broken, but we did imaging to be safe. Nothing was broken, but apparently I bruised the fuck out of my knee. And I still have black and blue marks and stuff going on to this day. So I am older and my body does not like to mend. It takes a long time. I'm not very happy about it.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the mending stage. We will see.
Yeah.
I already don't have good knees in my father's family side, his mother's side. So didn't need this.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. So.
You didn't need it.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. But tis.
Yeah. So we'll see if it's still kind of giving me problems this week. I might like make another appointment with my PCP and see about if they want to do like an MRI because I just had X-rays done, or if we want to consider some therapy and stuff. We'll see. To also help with swelling, I've been taking the water pill. I've been on it for a couple of years now, but I take it as needed, which isn't very often. And so I've been taking it pretty much nonstop for the past couple of weeks. So I have been making a lot of journeys to the bathroom. And do you know what's really hard to do? Make a journey to the bathroom when you have a leg that's hobbling you.
Yes.
So
yeah, that sucks.
Do we need
so
to
the
get
first
you
week
a
I was like,
cane?
so it's a funny story. Like my dad had several, and I almost was going to get one. And then somebody at work, because I was, having issues trying to get around, and they were like talking to me, like one of my coworkers, they were being respectful, but they were like, do you want to get a walker? I was like, I have one. I also have a wheelchair. I have canes. Like I have assistance devices from my dad, like technically. So I could use them.
You have mobility devices out the
yes.
yin-yang.
However, almost none of them are with me
here
at home. So
yeah,
there's that. Why is Skype like suddenly giving us all these notices?
I think it's coming from
Jeff.
It might be on my end for some reason. Oh yeah, somebody's spamming me.
Speaking of,
let me just hit block a couple times. There we go.
Speaking of, at work we use Zoom, for at least I do for certain things. We're supposed to be on Microsoft Teams, but I got a Zoom license for some of the work that I do. We got Zoom bombed in a public meeting.
Oh my.
I still have PTSD from it. And this is what I'm going to say. I never expect my personal life or an aspect of my personal life to come crashing into my professional life. So I will say this. When the Zoom bomb happened, what I was not prepared for is for the inappropriate adult content live streaming. Oh, yes.
Oh
yes. You would have thought that I visited a sketchy GeoCities website from like 1999.
Wow.
Where, like, you get those pop-up ads that come up that you can't get rid of.
Yep.
And it's live streaming of, things that you never wanted your parents to see. Oh, yeah. That happened.
Wow.
And I was so shocked about it. I mean, I kept my composure, but I was kind of embarrassed and felt a little humiliated because we'd never had it happen before. I mean, that was stuff that was happening during COVID when people were using Zoom, and they put these extra precautions in place. But this is a public accessible meeting. There's a link out there. So since then, we've changed some things and taken some extra measures. But yeah, so that also happened this month.
So fucking weird. Anyway, I just again, whatever. I genuinely like. I go like, who has the time to do that shit? Like, what was the point? What was the point? What was the actual point? But again, I'm thinking rational, like a rational human being.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Damon, I don't know why. I mean, and the thing is, there was a group of them. Like,
Right.
It was like 4 or 5 accounts that ended up joining. One of them was live streaming their sex show, basically. Oh yes, saw the bits and all. And they had some loud ass crazy dance music going on in the background. It was like, and I guess I'm just gonna say this. I guess as an elder gay, what is wrong with you faggots? Like, why would you do that? We're already in a bad circumstance. We've got an administration that is trying to eradicate us from the face of the earth, basically. And the last thing we need is you putting your bussy up there on webcam, like for the public to see in a forced fashion. Anyways, my apologies to everybody for that rant, but
no apology needed for that. That is quite fair.
I was like, what the hell's the matter with you people?
Damon
like,
has the appropriate fan.
It's it's different. Like, it's different if I'm looking for it. But to force it on people,
no, we don't have time for that.
You deserve to be jailed and like litigated for that bullshit. Come on. Uncalled for. I am sex positive. I am sex worker positive. I am all about like people expressing themselves, but there is a time and a place.
Right.
But not on a yes.
Wait, what do you say?
4, does that still exist anymore?
Chatterbait.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Anyways, yeah, I was like, that happened. And I wouldn't have even thought of it to talk about it in this episode, except Jeff just got that like Skype thing that happened.
Well, none of those were stuff that was interested. I'm sorry, Emily. I'm not interested in you.
I know. That's wild. Speaking of, we should talk about this briefly for a moment. Some of you may have heard in the news, Skype is going away. And a whole bunch of you are probably like, it's still around? As most of our guests have said when we have them come on the show because we use Skype. So in the next month or so, 2 months, we're going to be changing our technology stuff to figure out how we're going to be streaming and putting the show together.
Hopefully in the end everything works out fine. I think so. I just don't know. We need to do some testing. But fortunately, Skype's not going away for a couple months, so we're okay for now.
We appreciate the heads up. I kind of wish it was a longer period of time. It's just annoying the shit out of me. Like, I'm like, really? You couldn't have done like a half a year? But I guess perhaps like we're just not enough to keep the platform going. With our little podcast here. So.
Oh, shucks. Okay, I have to close you now. You're getting distracting. Sorry, I'm looking at something else. Don't mind me.
Anyways. So that being said.
Right, Miss Janet? All right, I know I have the thing up because I was looking at something else because of other technical difficulties we were having. But fortunately, I've got it back up, so don't worry about it. Damon, what's been going over on the YouTubes?
Sure. Over on YouTube, we got a comment. On COL776, which was our cake versus pie episode. Ed Caldy Channel says, "This is so real," and with 3 exclamation points. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, truth. It's really happening. We were really recalling and talking about it.
David.
Well, the debate, he might just be saying this debate is so real.
Mm-hmm.
Although we
Also
kind of all were leaning towards one side. So,
well,
To be honest, I will give a spoiler for
If you
those of
haven't-
you that didn't go watch and or listen. You
uh-huh.
should, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you were expecting the multi-layer cake with the pies within the layers of the cake, that we did not introduce nor talk about in the episode.
That's true.
Shocking as
Like-
that is.
Not
sorry.
pie caken. Pie
What?
caken.
Yes, it's a thing. The pie caken.
Okay, that's
Lord.
for
Oh
another
wow.
show.
That's a thing. Fuck
Yes, it
me.
is. Yes, it is.
There's a whole fucking bake shop. Anyway, sorry. I have to not look at that. That's what I need to not do.
I need to not go into a rabbit hole.
The
Yeah.
Trapumple was a thing. It was kind of a fad, but it's still out there, kids. Anyways.
Bobby says,
So,
say it isn't,
Jeff.
but well, I'm going to continue on because we got a comment in the chat from Bobby who said, say it isn't. I'm sure he means by cake versus pie, or maybe it's the multi-layer cake. Unclear, but anyways, moving on into Blue Sky follows. We were now been followed by David D. Gabriel Love, .bluesky.social. Bearwell Meg.
Hey.
I'm sure they were following us from they must have just transferred over or just realized, oh, yes, we forgot to follow Cubs Out Loud. So here we are.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Blue Sky. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
Gary, tell us what's been going over with the patrons.
Well, first off, we want to wish a happy 3-year anniversary to our buddy patron Michael V.
Yay.
And this past month, they reached 3 years of being a supportive patron here of us at Cubs Out Loud, and we very much appreciate that. We also want to give big bear cub hugs to our patrons at the Cubster level, Charles W. and Michael K. At the bear level, David T, Lee, and Michael Q. Plus our buddies Cy, Lloyd G, Michael V, and Owen.
Thank you for
Yay, thank you
supporting
so
us.
much.
We appreciate it very much. Helps keep the lights on, as we say.
And why don't you tell us about what happened over in February, the shortest month of the year?
Yeah, we had 4 episodes. The What's Going On for January kicked off the month. And then Cubses, aka Tony, joined us for a Let's Talk About Kink series episode. We talked about uniforms. We talked about the different varieties, types, interests. We talked about bluff as a part of the kink community. We also talked about like time, space considerations, changes in culture norms. So it was a good episode.
Yeah.
And then we had back-to-back guest episodes. The following week, 775 was Landscape of Relationships. Relationships with labels. So Dr. Edward Angelini Cook rejoined us, and we talked about how we have these relationships and what we think of them in terms of how we ascribe a label to them, what they mean, and more importantly, like the self-selection of those things and what we give as importance. And then last week was the great, not really, I was going to say debate, was 776, Let's Talk About Food, Cake versus Pie. So yes, we talked about our preferences. Yeah, it wasn't really quite that. It wasn't the knockout, like, you know,
Pie.
celebrity death match thing.
Cake. Pie. Cake.
There was a little cake, but a lot of pie.
Yeah. You had one soul like trying to be team cake. Wasn't fully.
And
Although,
considering how much
I did
we all
confirm-
liked cake, we had a lot of affinity to pie.
Although I did realize, Gary, I was right. So those JJ like hand pies that you
Yes.
were talking about. They
Mhm.
are in the Dollar Tree here.
Ooh.
Yeah. I almost grabbed one, but I literally I was buying a whole bunch of snacks and I was like, is this too much? This is probably going to be too much. Because I got pork rinds and some kettle corn and like boxes of um, candy that I have in my desk that I eat like here and there, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, I should stop. And they only had cherry. The store we went to only had the cherry
But you could have bought one and
ones.
then today during the show,
Trust me,
live tasted it.
the thought crossed my mind
Because
after we had left.
it's not beneath Damon and I on podcasts to taste test foods and then talk about them.
Yeah.
Jeff has no idea what I'm talking about, but um,
Yes. Yes.
several years ago, for those that don't know, on Drag Race, Damon and I taste tested the RuPaul's infamous chocolate bars.
Right.
That were a limited edition that came out. I got them and so we taste tested them. And actually they weren't bad.
They're pretty good. I kind of like them. I'm not
Thanks.
gonna lie, they're really good. But anyway, that's being said. But like I remember I want to go to a different store because the one near us I don't think has as big a selection
Mhm.
as the one further up the street.
That's fair.
And because I'm having a memory of them, excuse me, of them having like a blueberry and a lemon and a chocolate of some kind.
I gotta remember
Correct.
check
Like
next
they-
time I go to a Kroger. Go to Kroger's.
Yeah, try Kroger or Dollar Tree. I did see my TikTok shop is listening. My TikTok shop is listening, and I think that day after we started talking about them, I got a shop ad for, or a sponsored ad, I should say, for like the JJ Pies where they have a bunch of them. I was like, oh,
Interesting.
yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, so for those that didn't catch the episode, you really should go back and watch and listen. But the JJ's pies are actually made here in my hometown. And we talked about it. And so they are like the old style Hostess fried hand pies that used to come in like the waxy kind of bag, only now they come in boxes. Some of them do come glazed, some of them don't, but they're mostly fruit flavors, but they have the largest variety of flavors that I'm aware of. They do a whole series of things, including some specialty seasonal stuff. So check it out if you're interested in it. I just realized what I could do. Well, because I just had a light bulb moment. I realized that I could be on the lookout for them, and then I could make sure that you guys have them, and then we could talk about our experiences with them if we kind of had preferences amongst the flavors. Kind of like taste testing.
Maybe next time you come visit.
Yeah.
It'd be a great time.
For sure.
Anyways, I think it's time to move on from cake and pie to talking about cake and pie holes.
Nothing but blue skies from now on.
Maybe some sausages too.
Nothing says perversion like a lovely ditty from like 100 years ago.
Right. That is the weirdest transition, I've got to say.
It is.
I mean, it's similar to when we were doing the tweets, but this one's very like ballady and just like, oh. Good God, Jeff.
Ophelia,
Jeff, you were on somebody's list.
Ophelia, I really don't want to talk to you.
Why not?
Anyways,
Well,
Damon?
I have two. My first, Most Daddy, is by our friend Bull Daddy 2020. And it's his poster Most Daddy pick. And fuck yeah.
That's a very daddy pick.
Yeah. Cigar, suit jacket, open shirt, button down shirt, and then underneath you see a jock. Very, 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 very daddy. Just very much, very loving. Yeah. You're probably gonna just I'm gonna own y'all. You're probably gonna see this guy a lot because um he button 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 button
Mm-hmm.
button.
He's bald. He's bearded. He's bellied. He's currently wearing
Mm-hmm.
a blazer and a suit coat and a jock strap, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some socks or shoes, but I can't see that part of the picture.
Yeah.
So for those that need a visual understanding of what just happened with Damon, you have to go back to the movie Elf, where Will Ferrell like pushes all the buttons in the elevator. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Just
that's what happened.
very much that. Very, 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 very sexy. And
Very furry.
A lot of fun. Very fun.
Got a cigar.
He's very furry. And on this profile, this is his more adult profile. He is not shy at all. Anyway, next up, shower time, and this is from at Lucky Gay on the Blue Sky, and it is a it's a short video, but it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the shower. He's naked, bearded, obviously no clothes, PA'd,
Semi-hard.
fucking mountain of a man. Yeah, yeah, just all of the things. Fuck me. Sorry.
I just got chills. Like, it's only like a 6-second video and it goes on loop.
Yeah.
But the raised eyebrow look, like, this screams gym shower fantasy, like,
Right.
a la bathhouse, like, whatever. Like, he just gives you this look.
That shower does look like it could be a stall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it is, but it could be.
It's looking something. It's looking very welcoming. It looks like it could be a
Hey boy,
hotel.
what you gonna do?
God bless it. Yeah.
So for those of you out there that weren't aware, we are obviously faggots because we're like going into the details of what this shower looks like.
God bless it. It's fun. It's good. He's fine. It's fine. It's sexy. He's
It's
beautiful.
all fine.
Uh-huh. God bless it. And that was I didn't even remember sharing that on my God bless it, reposting that. But I'm so happy I found it again.
Speaking of, I'm going to do that right now.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to be like Kelly Clarkson. I'm going to give that a like.
There you go.
Only those that watch your daytime show would even understand what that was about just now.
So, Gary, how about you?
So I have two. The first one is called Bad at Flirting. So this is from Keen19802.bsky.social. This just amused me to no end, and I love it so much. It says, just as a reminder for darklandsfest.bluesky.social, I'm a super friendly / slutty, so don't be shy or subtle. You can always just ask my husband for permission. And then there's this gorgeous button that says, bad at flirting, please be blunt.
Mm-hmm.
With this beautiful rainbow, like heart infinity, like symbol thing. But
I think that's the polyamory symbol. Maybe I'm wrong.
I just love the fact that there's this button for the people out there who want others to know, like, I do not pick up on subtlety. You have to hit me over the head with it in order to like get it.
And I will own I'm the same way. And
I feel seen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like I've kind of been that way. Like there have been, I mean, it's probably when I was younger that I didn't pick up on the social cues of like someone investing a lot of time in me, like hanging out or whatever, and for me to not realize, like, oh, perhaps they want a boink. You know,
I've had like I'll call about it. I was at NAB just like last weekend,
Mhm.
and I was like, maybe I'm just not the greatest at like getting people. Like, are people actually flirting with me, or am I just not getting any attention whatsoever? And that's kind of where I'm at. And I was like, I don't know. And I'm not the greatest at flirting either. I will admit that myself. I suck at flirting.
I will say this. I would like an entire outfit with this look, with this design on it.
Just like a
shirt
shirt
and sweatshirt with it on the front and back. Maybe even something that where it's repeating along the arms or something like that, or just a
Right.
patch on the arm, and then just pants with the little logo that goes down the leg or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would even be okay with it also being on the butt.
Well, I was just gonna say, what if it was in the waistband of the jockstrap?
There you go.
That would be another place to put it. Just all over, like some shoes.
I mean, hopefully by that point, like if you're in your jockstrap and people are just seeing your jockstrap, I'd be like, maybe you're not so
I
bad
think
at
we got far enough, so we
flirting.
probably don't necessarily need it. But you know, if you go to a jockstrap
Eh,
party or something,
you know,
maybe it should be on
that
there. I
part.
don't know.
Yeah.
And just so you know, the symbol is the infinity heart, which is the symbol for polyamory. I was just like, it's like,
Nice.
I know that's so. Anywho,
I at least need the
I did.
phrase.
Yes.
Logo is I have mixed opinions about personally, but mainly I don't know if I'm actually polyamorous or not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on, Gary.
The next one is Cub Scout XL. I called it Summoning Bears. The actual caption is Summoning Bears to the tea dance on the big gay boat. So Cub Scout XL went on a bear cruise, a gay cruise, and is a hand flag twirling
Spinner.
artist. Like,
Yeah.
if you remember years ago, we talked with Chess about how they did, I think it's called Poi.
Poi. Yeah, spinning poi.
So,
yeah.
I
That's
personally have a little soft spot for Cub Scout XL. I think he's
fun.
a fucking cutie as hell.
That part.
And so the fact that he has these two bear pride flag hand flags, and is just standing on like one of the decks of the boat. And there's, if you pay close enough attention, so like there's a daddy bear and a jockstrap behind, and possibly his partner. There's like two guys in leather harnesses. There's some guys in military gear. Like, it's not super crowded, but I just love the fact that he's there in his like athletic shorts with his butt hanging out, and the boots and the socks and the cap, and like, it's just,
oh, his butt is out. I just noticed that.
Yeah, he's hot.
I was distracted by the flag flailing. I just
listen. I've probably watched it 20
and
times.
belly and
Like,
beard
right.
and yeah.
But,
yeah, Cub Scout. Yeah, he.
I was not following him. I am now.
Very much sexy fucker. That yeah. I've seen him for a while. Oh, he's from Chicago. Huh.
You might run into him sometime. To Chicago for Onyx.
Damn it, that's a penis. Sorry.
Girl, you were right where I was in Blue Sky. If you started scrolling his profile, you didn't get very far, and all of a sudden it's like, bam! It's right there.
It was for FCF, so what do you know?
That, all of the things. Yeah.
If I had an opportunity to meet him, and yes.
Okay, we need to shut you down because I will start looking at you, and we have a show to do.
All the bodily fluid. Anyways. Just saying.
Summoning the bears. I mean, I will say that's a nice video.
Yeah.
I am in awe of those that can actually do that, like spinning poi and twirling the flags and all that stuff. I can do some, very little, um, but not to that extent. My hand-eye coordination is very off and very bad.
I believe I can do some of it. When I was in high school, I desperately wanted to be in the color guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually had a pole, not an actual like proper flagpole, but I had a pole that was like a steel pipe or something. It wasn't steel, must have been aluminum. Absolutely aluminum. Steel would have been way too heavy.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was aluminum, and I had it. And I found it in the garage, and I put a makeshift flag on it. Like, I took some material and actually cut it.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm such a faggot. I just realized that as I said it. I didn't sew it, but I like cut it to like a flag shape, and I like was busy twirling it out in the backyard. I wanted to be in color guard so bad,
right?
When I was in marching band and stuff. But instead I was low brass. So
I did. When I was in college, there was an attempt. My small private non-denominational Christian college was like, we need a color guard. Why? For the sports we did, for like, because we had cheerleaders, we had a band. I think we did. Pretty sure we did. But yeah. Anywho, and I did try it like for a little while. It never went anywhere. Like, it was a couple. I remember having a few rehearsals, and then it just never got picked up fully. Or if it did, I either quit, whatever. Something happened. I don't remember seeing it after that. Oh well. Life goes on.
Moving on.
But I can do a little bit, the basics. I can do some of the basic moves.
Moving on into the links, Gary.
If y'all hadn't seen it yet, I highly suggest you go to Disney Plus if you haven't, and you watch the animated series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. They did an interesting like semi binge release. So they released a couple episodes at a time over a couple of weeks. So instead of doing like a episode every week or all the season at once, they did an in-between thing. So, which was a little weird to me, and I had other stuff I was trying to watch because I don't watch as much television, so it's hard for me to keep up on things. But I did just recently finish it this month. It came out, I want to say, in January. I think maybe the beginning of February. It was good. I really liked it. I also appreciated watching YouTube shows that recapped and talked about like this different take. So it's kind of like it's in a different universe of the MCU. It's all like there's a bunch of villains. There's like characters that recognize names, but things are slightly changed or different. It was fun, and it has 2 more seasons coming, I believe. I really appreciate it. And not to spoil anything, but there is a interesting timey-wimey thing that happens when you get to the end of the season and begs some really interesting questions about like how things started, ? Anyways, I don't want to spoil it to give it away, but when the thing happened, I was like, wait, oh, okay. But what does that mean? Anyways, you'll have to watch it to see. I realize it was very vague, but intentionally, I don't want to spoil it, but it was fun. And yeah, and they're only I think 30-minute episodes. I think each episode. So it's fun. Like, you can kind of get in and get out, and if you don't really want to make a big commitment to something, you can watch a couple at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was I think it was a 2-episode premiere, and then I think they did 2 or 3 at a time. I think there's maybe 8 or 9 episodes to the whole season. But the animations, it's fun. They did some things that were very kind of comic book-esque, but not. Yeah. And so it's very different because in this realm, things are not quite the way we know them in our understanding of the MCU, as far as who is who, And are they good or are they bad?
It's
Anyways.
another Spider-Man that's just not directly related to. It's another universe in the multiverse.
Right.
Correct.
Or the Spider-Verse. Take your pick.
Yeah, it's fun that it's based in New York and that it is teens. There is a high school, but it's not the high school that you think. You understand when you first see the first episode. There's a bunch of aspects and things to it, but it was fun. I liked it. I appreciated that they did it. So,
You have to take.
So, anyways, that's my recommendation.
All right. With that, that's the end. All. Plain ways to contact us. You can pop over to our website, cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email at cubsoutloud@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. Follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Cubs Out Loud in the appropriate place of the URL. You can join our Entourage chat on Telegram at bit.ly/telegram-COL. You can also subscribe to our Google Calendar at bit.ly/calendar-COL. Get various accoutrements at zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. Some of those designs, such as the Consensus My Foreplay shirt that Damon is wearing, were designed by Smash. You can find more of his work at tpublic.com/user/SmashyTheBear. You can become a patron at patreon.com/cubsoutloud or send us a donation at paypal.me/cubsoutloud. You can find us on the various podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, at Cubs Out Loud in there. And please rate us, review us there and on YouTube, just to kind of push us up in the algorithm. We'd appreciate that very much. You can find me anywhere on the internet as Bucks at Bucks, Puppy Bucks, Cub Bucks, something or other, or on the various MMOs I'm on. Damon?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as TheaterCub79. That's TheaterCub79 on most bear-related sites. You can find me as pup_umber on the one site or pup_79 on Blue Sky. Those are not safe for work. For safe for what stuff, you want to go DMAGamer79 on Blue Sky, TikTok, and the other T. Or X. Fuck. Gary.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me online anywhere as Gamber73.
And with that, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye-bye.